let's show you how you're going to be taking your quizzes, your tests, and entering your work on Canvas. So if you were in the test, which would just be the quiz, and we're going to do this one as an example, the quiz with a picture submission. Don't worry about the name. For me, I have to hit the preview. You would just take the quiz, but since I'm not a student, I hit the preview so I can see the quiz questions. Here is my quiz now. Here's my test. So let's say our first question is, what is the weight of a 90 kilogram box? Well, I could do that on some paper right here, and I could enter it in my calculator and find out that 90 times 9.8 is 882. So I enter that with no units because the quiz won't grade with units. It only does the number. So I enter that in 882 newtons. But now I go down to question number 2 and it says type your work and calculations for question 1. So the work for this question, I'm now going to put in this box. So what do I need? I need my formula. My formula is just going to be FG times mg because I'm looking for the weight. So I come right here to that insert math equation, that low square root, and I hit that. And up comes a bunch of menus and tabs, kind of similar to Google. So I said my equation was, and I just type my F, then I need a subscript, type my G, I hit my equals button, and I just type my M times my G. And then I can just type my work because it's short. So I know it's 90 kilograms times 9.8, but I need some units here and I need a fraction. So I come up to my fraction button and I do meters per second. I need a squared, so I need a superscript. Put my squared in there. Then I know that it equals, and I already did my calculation, I know it equals 882 newtons. So there's all my work. So I just insert that equation. And there it shows up. Now, if this quiz had another question, there's my second question right there, even though it's labeled question 3. Okay, so what is the acceleration of a 90 kilogram box if pushed by a 90 Newton force? Well, let's just do the work right in the box this time. So I'm going to come down here and click in the box and then insert my equation. And I know that my formula is just going to be mass or force equals the mass times the acceleration. But I need to rearrange that for the acceleration. So I'm going to rearrange that. I'm going to show I rearrange that by putting an arrow in. And then that becomes the acceleration because I divide both sides by the mass equals, I need to go back to my basic and get my fraction, equals the force divided by the mass. So there's my equation and my rearrangement. So I'm just going to insert that one and then I'm going to do it just to show you on another line, my actual calculation. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to insert another equation and I'm going to say that the acceleration equals, and I need a fraction again, my force of 90 newtons divided by my mass of 90 kilograms, which 90 divided by 90 in my calculator tells me it's 1, and newtons and kilograms cancel, so it gives me a fraction of meters per second, and its acceleration, so I need a superscript squared. So there's my work. So I've showed my formula and my work, and then I can actually just come back up here and I can just put my answer, 1 meter per second squared. Then I would just submit it. And when I submit it, then it will grade, and I can, as a teacher, I can go through and see your work and give you partial credit on those questions if maybe you didn't get those questions correct. And I can see what you did, and I can grade each one of these to get it out of the 5 points. So that's the way you're going to be taking the test. If you have questions, let me know.